will have to draw a line in terms of how much of human assistance that you need to bring in to make the AI tool powerful enough to be able to serve you.
Right.
Rather than the other way around. Just today, seeing a video of the Ola founder, how he was pitching Ola way back in 2011. And that was interesting. All he said was, you cannot go and solve a problem with an AI tool unless and until you know my legs may be tired, my mind may want to give up, but that's the phase when I remember the kids of Oscar and I run the last 14 predominantly for them.
2030, 2035, we will have, with the advent of AI, we will have one person company becoming $1 billion company, a unicorn. Is that a possibility? Do you see that?
I am a fan of you, Nishant, in fact. You have spread the awareness of how fitness is important in the corporate world. Over a period of time, if AI starts feeding AI, it's going to be chaotic.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another amazing episode of Trifantry Chronicles. Season 5 is all about fitness, finance and future. Today's guest is Rajee Bhattacharya. Rajee Bhattacharya is an industry veteran with over 30 years of experience in enterprises, AI, technology. She's an ultra marathoner. She's done a dozen full marathons, half marathons, and ultra marathons. She's also at the forefront of building a multinational conglomerate, an enterprise, a startup, which is serving customers across the world. In this conversation, you will learn everything about running, marathons, building culture, leadership, building startups, and all about AI. We also have a special segment on personal finance and the mantra to live a more joyful, happier, and life of learning. Let's jump right into the conversation. Please watch it till the very end because you will find a lot of nuggets for life, AI, fitness, future, and everything in between. Welcome to the show, Rajee. Thank you for doing this. What better person to start off this season than you? We are talking about fitness, finance, and future, and I could not find a better guest who represent all of this.
Thank you so much for having me here. And it's absolute pleasure. I am a fan of you, Nishant, in fact. You have spread the awareness of how fitness is important in the corporate world. Immense pleasure being here, Nishant.
Right. I think the way we connected a couple of years back was actually because of our common passion of running.
Absolutely.
And while they say that running is the new golf, where all the people, especially the who's who, the CXOs, are now finding a common ground to bond and also make deals. Probably that's how we connected without actually ever thinking that, eventually we'll be sitting here and having a conversation. But what actually caught my eye was the incredible career that you've built over the last 3 decades in different industries, right from BFSI to insurance to media to now building your own conglomerate of companies, so to say. So take us through a bit about your journey and what you're doing currently.
I think my career is more like a marathon journey. Let me put it that way. So to say, like in a marathon, you need a lot of, you cannot be unidirectional. You need a lot of tweaks and twists and a lot of resilience. To start off, I was part of the capital markets way back in early 90s, when there were physical shares, not dematerialized shares. So it started then, and then one led to the other. I was part of marquee organizations like stockholding and built my journey. I have seen the shift from physical traditional modes of stock trading into dematerialized modes, and then into insurance when insurance got privatized, and a drastic shift from a regulated, compliance-driven financial services and insurance industry into media enterprise, which is full of creativity and compliance is not the word there. So, and then I think the entrepreneurial bug bit me, and I'm here where I am, enjoying my journey. It's been it's akin to a marathon, Nishant. Truly love this journey.
So I think well put. While you said that compliance is not a thing in media, I'm sure a lot of legal and compliance departments are turning in their seats right now. But let's talk about your current journey. You are the co-founder and chairperson at Percipere, which is an enterprise services company which helps people solve their problems and scale.
Right.
So focused on MSMEs and large enterprises, and you're also using various AI technologies, RPAs, to solve their problems. Can you talk a bit about Percipere and what you guys are doing there?
Absolutely. We, in fact, we started off in 2017 as and we were experts in the ERP space. We are multi-country reseller partners to SAP and also implement SAP.
Right.
We are amongst the first public cloud partners. In fact, the first UK implementation of public cloud, we did it. So, while we started with SAP as the starting point, very soon we found ourselves being asked by customers, especially because of our service level standards, to venture into other areas like intelligent automation, RPA. And then we went into process consulting, business transformation, using AI and other tools. So technology is not really, it shouldn't really define your boundaries. It is more about what the customer wants. And hence we invested in our own product in process mining space.
Okay.
Globally, we are the only partners to have a process mining product. So that's kind of bringing the entire thing into a packaged thing for our customer needs, running them through their their journey of building process efficiency.
Right.
So that's what Percipere represents.
Okay.
And Percipere means thorough understanding and complete ownership. And we live to our name, Nishant.
Excellent. I think, but you just going back, taking a step back and looking at your career, how it has progressed and where have you've reached today. So while last 6 years you've been trying to solve various business problems for companies around the world.
Correct.
But you started your career in capital markets and then traversed through a lot of different industries, which I'm assuming would have helped you to sort of build that consulting and problem solving mindset.
Yes.
Do you think that that experience has helped you to now understand problems deeper, and that's how Persipere is solving those problems?
Very true. To tell you frankly, possibly many of my colleagues would have heard this. I have been on the other side. So when we approach and talk to the customer, we understand their pain points, we empathize with their pain points, and we clearly understand the pulse in terms of their ask when they come to us and look at any kind of an enterprise transformation.
Right.
Consulting. So that brings in that level of, I would say, that level of involvement from us. So many of our consultants also feel the same when they interact with the end customer. They do not look at it as a technological solution. It's not about technology. It's about what the person sitting there wants. It is about bringing process efficiency.
Right.
So that's what we look at.
Makes sense. I think while you can study a lot of things in theory and have all the degrees of BTech and an MBA and this and that, but I think when you've actually worked on the other side, like you mentioned, that's when you actually understand that it's not always about the theoretical part of it, but the actual problems that technology and reverse engineering the processes and re-engineering all of that can help you to solve that.
True.
All right. So that brings me to a very interesting question about Persipere. Because you are a runner and you've done like a bunch of ultra marathons and you've stopped counting the number of half marathons that you've run yourself. I'm sure that has helped you in certain way to form your leadership thesis. Do you feel that there are advantages that can be extrapolated to work as well if you are focused on running or any other sports activity?
Yes, Nishant. I think running has changed the way I look at things. And it's changed my perspective to a lot of aspects in life. Be it my personal life as a mother, mother of a teenager,
Right.
and be it in my leadership role, be it going through my day-to-day life itself. What running has brought to me is possibly, I can say, personal focus. It has also built a level of physical resilience.
Right.
And absolutely, it has brought in a lot more purpose. So to say, when you start, let me kind of compare, let's take a full marathon. You've been through the journey, so you know it well.
Right.
So let's split that into 3 parts.
Okay.
14, 14, 14. So the first 14 is all about personal focus, right? You are aiming for a particular time. You have planned it out meticulously and you are executing it on the ground, right?
Right.
And that's the starting point. Then you get into the next phase where you start feeling tired, but yet you want to push it, and you have the energy to push it. So the 14th kilometer to the 28th kilometer is all about physical resilience and getting past it, getting past any kind of discomfort. Then you get into the last 14, where it is about purpose.
Correct.
So most of my marathons, I actually do fundraising. I'm on the board of trustee with Oscar Foundation.
Right.
And I run for the children of Oscar.
Right.
So that is when the purpose supersedes everything else. My legs may be tired, my mind may want to give up, but that's the phase when I remember the kids of Oscar, and I run the last 14 predominantly for them. So
Right.
I think it's a similar thing when you look at leadership. It's not one size fits all. Even when you look at, we have a wide age band, we have a wide variety of great diversity within Percipere.
Right.
So it cannot be one size fits all. It's a different set of motivation for different people. And those perspectives are paramount, and I've started understanding that much better ever since I have become a runner, Nishant. And it's not just about the physical endurance, and that a matter of fact, we get very disciplined with our nutrition, diet, and a lot of aspect in life. But it also gives you this perspective, keeping patience, pushing it till the last leg to ensure that the job is done. Managing different people in a different way. All this comes during a marathon. You always face a different set of problems.
Right.
It's not the same, right?
Yeah.
So these are ways in which I have seen that running has helped me immensely, Nishant.
Right. So Raji, during my time of researching before the shoot started, I resonate with you what you're talking about, the purpose and how it drives different people. And I saw that recently you conducted a Zumba session for everyone on your on the floor in Bombay office.
Correct.
In your new office, I should say, a beautiful building in the Kohinoor 39th floor. Is that something that you're doing consciously to integrate the passion side of it through fitness? Is that a purpose that you're trying to build into the team?
True. See, if you look at any company for that matter, the success or failure of the company depends on the people who run it. When I say people, it's not just the senior leadership, it's top to bottom. And if you look at today's world, a large part of issues with respect to fitness is more lifestyle issues.
Correct.
Stress induced predominantly.
Right.
Leading up to poor eating habits, then lack of motivation to do anything to upkeep your physical fitness. All this, in our scheme of things, you know about me. My partner Prathamesh is also extremely interested in sports. He has represented the state in national cricket team.
Oh, excellent.
And the large part of the founding team is extremely sports oriented.
Oh, wow.
So I think that that inherent DNA has driven us to make sure that we give the same kind of feeling and the standards in terms of fitness to our employees.
Right.
And we bond a lot better when we are on ground, when we are playing together, when we are doing some things like Zumba and all together. And then it in turn leads to, of course, better fitness,
right,
and better productivity.
Right.
And that social bonding also ensures that in Persipere we say that we have everybody's back covered. There's never a time when somebody there's a commitment to complete something, there is a timeline, you are hard pressed, you are not able to complete, there'll be somebody holding your back.
Correct.
And these kind of things really instills that element of so to say physical, mental, and I would put it as emotional well-being.
Right.
That's what we encourage, Nishant.
Excellent. I think very well put that the culture is built from top to bottom, and eventually the teams emulate what is being told, and more than what is being told, how it is actioned.
Yes.
Your actions always speak louder than your words ever will. So that brings me to a second part of conversations, which is around AI and startups. Now, a large part of our audience is probably young and they come to us for fitness, but because we've pivoted to fitness, finance, and future. So I want to talk about the future aspect of it. So if someone is watching us today and they are, let's say, probably 20, 25, 30 years old, they are looking to start up.
Yeah.
AI is a area which is obviously being talked about, and we'll talk a bit further about AI as well. But Percipere as well as Futuroot are also startups. They started just six and a half years ago, and Futuroot started about 4 years ago. And yet you have built a team across the globe in UAE, Canada, UK, US, and India. You have consultants around the world. They are servicing so many different clients. How did you manage to scale up a very small startup in 2, 3 people, 4 people team into a global growing startup to now an enterprise? How did that journey happen?
See, I would say akin to AI, that the future, the topic under future.
Yeah.
It's agility that has made us, got us where we are.
Define agility.
I would say be prepared to get displaced at every minute is agility. What that means is the world is full of opportunities. It's about us to be able to spot those opportunities, to be able to do justice to those opportunities, sincere, owned execution of things, and then leap forward from there. What we encourage in Percipere and what we also do is non-stop learning, Nishant. I would say people may be surprised, but even after, say, during COVID, I was like 28, 29 years into career.
Right.
I certified myself as a master certified ethical hacker.
Right. Wow.
So I think the journey is about learning, relearning, unlearning, and keeping that momentum on. And as far as Persipere is concerned, we have always looked at opportunities. We have always looked at grabbing those opportunities with both hands and doing sincere effort. And that's what has got us where we are. That's excellent. That's the mantra.
Right. So if someone is watching today and they want to start up a company, most startups are trying to solve the consumer end of the problem because they are probably more PR oriented, sexy problems to solve. But if someone wants to build a startup in an enterprise space, what are those 2, 3, 4 things that they should be looking at in solving the problem and scaling from a very small team with small resources?
the most basic thing is choose your area of expertise.
Okay.
I don't think it'll ever be successful if you are getting into an area where you don't carry the expertise and you're trying to dabble with it just because it is, so to say, fashionable.
Yeah.
Two, it's important that you feel that sense of there is a problem to solve and you are convinced about the solution. I was just today seeing a video of the Ola founder. How he was pitching Ola way back in 2011.
Yeah.
And that was interesting. All he said was, have you ever had a bad cab experience?
Right.
So he felt for it. So keep the feel for it. Empathize with what the problem is and then go all out to solve it. These two are the only things that can drive you to success. And hard work. There's no substitute to that.
Right.
Even in this world of AI, yes, there are things, you may work in a different direction because you have all the tools, right? But you definitely have to be resilient enough to put forth that work that is required to get you to success.
Understood. So any other skills that a youngster can look at to become more successful? Any soft skills, any other kind of skills that people can work upon to be able to become better sellers or better at just pitching their product?
So I would split the response on two fronts. One would be the soft skill aspect.
Yeah.
Second would be more on the AI.
Right.
Because that's the topic of discussion for today. On the soft skills, if you see, I was born in early 70s. So possibly I hail from an age where there was not much of distraction. There was not much of mobile devices to keep you hooked on. I possibly had more interpersonal communication, relationships, and I possibly developed the skills of empathy and interaction.
Right.
Being able to understand other perspectives. In this age and phase, I possibly find that a lot missing. That's one area that's extremely critical.
Right.
As much as you are in touch with your digital devices, which is a need of the hour.
Correct.
You cannot be without it. It's also equally important that you develop human relationships. You develop networks. You develop sincere relationships.
Correct.
That is a soft skill that I would want to advise over and above all that I mentioned about learning, about being agile and all of those. On the second aspect, if we come to AI, what is AI? Yeah, it's most talked about, but let's look at the underlying things that drive AI. It's about the data that is being fed, and it is about the modeling approach and the modeling, the entire, how do you model it, right? Now, so if you were to break that down, it's important to understand the cause and effect.
Right.
How will you get to the cause and effect? It's important to understand the underlying industry. You cannot go and solve a problem with an AI tool unless and until you know the base working of the industry, the core processes. So be very grounded to make sure that you understand those industry segments, the idiosyncrasies within the industry, the problem areas.
Right.
So you cannot just jump into it and say, I'm going to solve
this problem. Correct.
So data science, building LLM models, all of that is fine. But this is an aspect that you definitely cannot ignore or do away with.
Absolutely. Another question that comes out of the topic of AI itself, from the consumer perspective. So my question is two parts. A, if someone is watching us today, 2024, what are some of the tools for an individual, a mathematics, non-engineering background person? How can you use AI in your personal life? That's question one. Question two is, you are on the other hand trying to solve enterprise level problems. How does AI play a part in helping organizations to harness AI and grow their revenues, top line, bottom line?
Okay. So possibly I will take the second question first. I'll respond to that and then go into the other aspect. With respect to enterprise AI, let's kind of give it a thought. You know, it's the most talked about topic. You open the paper, you go into the internet, you will have multiple threads emerging out of AI. On every single day, you will at least find a dozen impact. And every CIO wants one use case for the enterprise with respect to AI.
Correct.
Right? Now, let's also see that technology in itself is undergoing a very fast pace of change.
Correct.
It's never been this fast and it will never be this slow.
Right.
That's the way it is.
Okay.
And from say, heuristics to LLM to multimodal and then, multi-agent.
Right.
I think it's just about, I would say it's just about the fact that you are, if as part of enterprise, you are able to match your people and process to the technology development.
Right.
That is what will actually give you results. And coming to the point on, if we were to break it down into the 6 key modalities within AI,
right?
I would say especially Gen AI. You have text, you have codes, you have images, you have audio, you have video, 3D and specialized.
Right.
Now, from a text perspective, yes, now I will be looking at enterprise and personal and all this put together. You have a lot of the content generation, content summarization, which as an enterprise, you know it well, Nishant, from a marketing perspective, it eases your a lot with respect to how you approach your customer, how you build your content. It's like a content assistant.
Correct.
Right? And so to say, also from individual perspective, we know, it's a dated message that Gen AI is used by kids to write, to do their homework, right?
Correct.
And moving into the space of, say, codes, which is where I think I would like to bring in Percipere as well. We do have an AI tool which goes by the name Percy Smart, which helps in reducing our development time by 70%.
Oh, wow.
Bringing in a lot of cost optimization and operational efficiency. So what this does is generates codes, not just the back end, but also from the front end, right? Design and front end tools. Now, it's also a case in point when we are into transformation, enterprise transformation, digital transformation, and a large part of the legacy system is about data not being available or data being incoherent. So this synthetic data creation is another angle where it helps us in our cloud transformation journey.
Right.
So that's another important use case of AI.
Enterprise AI.
That's right. And audio, again, we've seen cases of conversational AI and also customer interaction. Right. It makes it more engaging, interactive. And coming to the image part, product design has never been easier.
Correct.
And look at the video part of it. You can simulate accidents to for insurance companies to validate claims.
Right.
So how efficient can that get? Right? And from that standpoint, it obviously leads to better customer success because with valid claims being admitted, your premiums will go down over a period of time.
Right.
And so is the case with 3D and specialized AI tools,
Right.
where you are going to, the creation of, from an architect perspective,
Right.
you're going to render virtual renderings, and you're going to save a lot of cost.
Correct.
Right. So these are a lot of use cases that I believe that would be relevant for enterprises
Right.
in terms of AI adoption.
Understood.
Having said that, let's come to the aspect of I'm possibly getting in the fitness aspect in a different way.
Yeah.
A lot of the pharma companies, there's a lot of conversation around the affordability. Now, with AI, the aspect of research and innovation, contribution of AI into research and clinical research and innovation is going to be extremely critical, bringing down their investment cost,
Okay.
and also contributing to the cost of product to the end consumer.
Right.
So these are some of the use cases that I believe touches upon both the enterprise and individuals. And of course, autonomous vehicle we are all aware of.
Correct.
But there are challenges as well. So I would put it that you will have to pick and choose your business case. You will have to draw a line in terms of how much of human assistance that you need to bring in to make the AI tool powerful enough to be able to serve you,
right,
rather than the other way around.
Correct. So this brings me to a very important aspect, which is also the people who don't believe in AI, and they say that AI is here to take our jobs. Humans are growing, but overall world population is declining. While humans are growing, the AI is also growing, and what we have today is probably just the beginning of AI. In 2030, the models will be much more efficient. The models will be much more personalized. Like you mentioned, there are efficiencies which are already being achieved today. One of your tools, which has created 70% efficiency in terms of new model creation, new application creation. Do you think AI is going to take away our jobs? And if yes, then what is the purpose of our existence? What are we going to do in 2030, 2035? Are we going to just sit there and let AI do everything for us, or we'll find some other purpose?
Very interesting question. And I would put it this way. As I mentioned a little while ago, it's about agility. It's about retuning the way you look at things. And this is the time when you need to start doing that if you have not done that so far. AI is definitely going to displace jobs. We are not going to become redundant. I don't see that happening. But we are, people are definitely going to be displaced. When I say displaced, you're going to be doing different things.
Okay, such as?
So I'll come to that. Now, what is the overarching problem that AI is here to solve? It is about building productivity.
Right.
What does that mean? It means more quality time.
Right.
Right? Jobs are going to become more qualitatively enriched.
Okay.
So what does that mean? If you were on doing something as mundane as checking 3 invoices and or checking a purchase order, an invoice, and tallying and passing the finances for your books.
Sure.
That's not what a human being is supposed to do, right? So that's the shift that I see will happen.
Okay.
Hence, it's important. Let's also understand AI is feeding on the data that is available now. Given a scenario, let me kind of ask you this question. If you were to take a photo of a photo,
right,
how good or bad would it be?
With current technology, it's probably not as good as the original.
Yeah.
But you still get the picture.
Yeah. So again, going back to the point where the understanding of cause and effect the fundamental grounding in terms of getting into details is going to be paramount. So you cannot be superficially existing. You need to understand, solve the problems that AI cannot. Like over a period of time, if AI starts feeding AI, it's going to be chaotic. So who is going to be the person or the layer that's going to validate, ignore, or rather remove human biases, understand and tweak the modeling approach? That is the outlook that people should start having. I am not seeing it as, say, losing purpose in life. We probably will be more purposeful than doing a mundane activity.
Repetitive tasks.
Yes, which we are not meant to be doing. Human beings are creative animals, right?
Animals, yeah.
So we should possibly, again, a case in point, like going back to the aspect of how you balance things out, Nishant. It's important that we get into assisted intelligence and not addictive intelligence.
Okay. Assisted intelligence, not addictive intelligence.
Yeah, because when you get into personal use of AI, using too much of AI for your emotional needs, I see a play of, psychophancy coming in there. I think we should spend a lot more time engaging with people, having meaningful conversations, looking at what could better humanity at large, what could we bring better to the world, rather than doing unproductive jobs which a machine can do. That's how I see things happening.
Interesting. I think it is safe to say that while last 30 odd years, Indian society was optimizing for more engineers, more MBAs, more repetitive jobs, right? But now, probably with AI coming in, the dawn of those 70s, 80s era where courses such as arts, philosophy, culture, psychology will again come to the forefront, because you need more people who understand art, culture, and deeper things in life, right?
Very
so
true.
If someone is starting out today in terms of their journey, then don't just look at non-medical as one of the streams, or medical. Probably again go back to art, culture, and learning more about literature, history, all of these things.
True.
Typically this is not considered like the thing to do. If your kid has gotten into arts or other such a stream, then society would not probably accept them. But again, I think it's important that the dawn of art, culture, tradition, all of these things is coming back. Is that right?
True. I think you nailed it, Nishant. You put it very rightly. Deep learning is about deep thinking.
Deep thinking.
So you're absolutely right. The things that we would be looking up to, and the learning that we'll have to adapt, is going to be very different. It is the turn of times.
Correct. Last question in this segment. So Sam Altman, the CEO of ChatGPT and OpenAI, mentioned that in 2020, 2030, 2035, we will have, with the advent of AI, we will have one person company running into becoming a $1 billion company, a unicorn. Is that a possibility? Do you see that with minimal number of people, or 1%, 2%, you can still go on and build a unicorn? Unlike what happens today, where you need thousands of people to build a consumer business. Is that possible?
I would say, see, AI is about productivity, is about efficiency. So why not? Having said that, it just opens the possibility of every single person being able to think in that direction. That you really don't need anybody to be running your mundane tasks. So why not? Having said that, again, I go back to to what I mentioned a while ago. It's about the way you rethink about where your energies have to go. It is about where you believe you have better productivity and investing in this. So most certainly it is possible, but I don't see that as a negative aspect, but more as a positive outcome that every single person can become a billionaire. He or she can run their own billion-dollar company. Why not?
Right, right. I think AI will also bring in that freedom to not just think, create
Yes,
solutions, but at the same time give you more qualitative time if
true,
you choose to accept it and
true,
not be drowned in, like you mentioned earlier,
true.
in the streams of data coming at you and services
Correct,
coming at you. All
correct.
right, so let's move on to our last segment, which is around finance.
Mm-hmm.
Now, while I know that you are a leader who's running a multi-nation organization where a lot of your employees in Percipere and Futuroot are youngsters.
Mm-hmm.
So, keeping them in perspective and young audience that might be watching us,
Mm-hmm.
what personal finance pillars or guidance would you like to give these youngsters so that they can try to have like good fundamentals around personal wealth and create wealth at a later stage in life?
Okay. So I'll put it this way, Nishant. Again, I'll take the lead from the discussion we had. AI.
Yeah.
Let's see the way AI in itself is having influence across other industries. Like, with the advent of AI, there's a lot of impact on people going after utility stocks.
Okay.
Right? With the collateral impact of AI, power trading has it has an impact on power trading in itself, right?
Right, right.
So first and foremost, I would say that don't be siloed in terms of what information you gather. Be open about knowing everything in the world, starting from geopolitical consideration, right? Like custom duty on electric vehicle could lead to banning beef and pork in another geography, right? So the world has shrunk. It's become a very small place. So try and gather as much information and try to understand the cause and effect again, right? So be it geopolitical, be it advancements in technology, be it finances, right? We had the stock market crash. People were wondering whether overhype on AI companies is actually leading up to recession or at least the tech bubble.
Right.
So all these considerations. So read up as much, be as aware as you can.
This you're saying from a perspective of investing into the stock markets.
Yes.
And mutual funds indirectly.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm coming to the personal finance aspect.
Sure.
Because most people think it's an overnight journey.
Correct.
You just get some tip here, get some tip there, and you kind of go through it.
Right.
Case in point, I have been tracking the crypto markets and Bitcoin way back in 2008.
Oh, wow.
So I think we all need to be multidimensional in terms of gathering and grabbing as much from the external world that the external world can offer, and try to question why not. And that gives you the fundamental ground to start investing. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm never an impulsive spender. So I would advise that for sure. And hence, when you have the fundamentals right and you're not impulsive, you have something to go back to kind of invest, you will be doing meaningful investments. Again, consistency is key. You cannot just buy stocks and say, I want to, there's a lot of dabbling around derivatives and all of that happening.
Yeah.
It's important that you stay consistent to the fundamentals and you be consistent with your investments as well.
Right.
So that is what is going to hold you in good stead. Planning. There are certain life events that you will have to kind of plan for and build your portfolio. Yes, there are risks and rewards. I would advise taking risk, but up to a certain threshold. You should have the appetite to absorb that. So within that threshold, if you are doing it, it's going to really reward you. Otherwise, if you go all out and you invest your life savings on something which is extremely risky, I wouldn't advise. So these are certain contours around which you should be managing your finances, and that will definitely help build a strong portfolio. Strong backing.
Okay, so but as per you, what are those 4, 5, 6 instruments where people should be looking at saving, investing, and putting it for the long term, short term? What are those 3, 4 things, 5 things which probably you have done in the past and currently as well?
Again, there is no one size fits all.
Right.
So I would say, I look at it this way. Predominantly, the age that you are defines and where you are in your lifespan.
Sure.
In your life journey,
Sure.
defines the kind of instruments that you should be choosing.
Right.
You could go in for a highly risky, a high risk, and possibly a mixture of high risk instruments at the start of your journey, because you're fully backed up. You have years of your career ahead.
Correct.
And then as you near your possibly retirement or age where your income earning capacity is less, you will have to reduce your risk appetite.
Sure.
So to say, I don't mean to be I don't want to give a financial advice in that sense, talking about a specific instrument or anything.
Sure.
But yes, it is okay to invest on a risky instrument at the start and be less on debt.
Correct.
When you start your career.
Okay.
But as you traverse through the journey, when you have your family, when you have commitments, when you have personal encumbrances, reduce the risk component and increase more of fixed return instruments. That's how the journey has to be.
Yes.
It cannot be, you will understand this best even in a marathon preparation.
Right.
You choose what you eat at the start, and then and
keep
also
changing,
and also with respect to your age,
right,
the metabolism changes. It's the same with respect to the investments as well, Nishant.
Right.
That's how I see it.
So in conclusion, I think what you're suggesting is that you can start off at a high risk, low safety kind of a portfolio.
Correct.
And then as you progress, keep looking at your financial goals, your life goals, and then keep changing the percentage points around from equity to debt to maybe some other kind of stable instruments. Is what you're recommending. And so if I have to add to it, can we also say that because we are high on equity, so we are talking about investing in stock market, mutual funds, and then because I am also biased a little towards insurance sector, so obviously you should have a health insurance in place.
Absolutely.
That should be number one point where you start, and then your life insurance. And then you keep on adding other instruments like PPFs and NPS and various other instruments, and eventually later in stage probably look at RDs, FDs, and those kind of things.
Very true. I would. You have really summarized it well.
Right.
Health insurance is part of the planning that I mentioned.
Yeah.
It's really going to safeguard you against any kind of odds.
Untoward. Yeah.
So that's definitely there.
Right.
Life insurance, you have a lot of products that build in the investment aspect as well.
Right.
So it's important to have the right mix.
Yeah.
And I'm a great fan of, I mentioned consistency of SIPs and mutual funds. Again, get your fundamentals right.
Correct.
Don't get swayed by, I would use the word influencers.
Yeah.
Right? It's important that you are convinced about what you're doing. I don't think it's right that you bet your money based on somebody's advice without being convinced, without having your skin in the game in that sense, right? So these are some things that you should take it as the underlying advisory when you go in for investments.
Absolutely. My God, I think last hour or so, we've had traverse from fitness to leadership to building companies, startups, AI, and then finance. Has just truly been a phenomenal discussion with you. I'd like to conclude the conversation with one parting shot, one parting thought process which you can give to the audience. If today someone is watching this, is looking at the future, 2030, 2035, and keeping the theme in mind, which is fitness, finance, and future, any message that you'd like to give to the audience?
Okay. Possibly I'll give you a mantra.
Yeah.
To me, it is about 3 C's.
Yeah.
One is stay centered. I don't mean self-centered. There's a difference. I hope you understand.
Right.
Right? Centered in the sense that keep the balance. Stay stay to your purpose, your goal. Right? Stay centered. Stay calm. Lot of ups and downs that come in your life. Lots of information, lots of swaying that keeps happening. You cannot be like the leaf, the stem that keeps swaying you here and there. So stay calm. That gives you the mental makeup to be able to digest and look at things from a different perspective and take confident decisions. And stay consistent.
Right.
It's not about, be it your career, be it your running journey,
Right.
fitness or finance. Consistency is the key.
Right.
Every single day you need to turn up for your run. Every single month you need to make sure that you're investing. Every single day you should make sure that you're learning something.
Right.
So consistency. So
Excellent.
stay centered, stay calm, stay consistent.
I think beautifully put, from the 3F of fitness, finance, to future, to now concluding with the 3 C's: being centered, being anchored to your philosophies and thoughts, being calm, the second C, and the third C is keep yourself consistent in any field that you choose. Thank you so much, Rajee. It has been an honor. It's been a pleasure. I have learned so much. I'm sure the audience would have done the same. Thank you for taking out your time.
Pleasure my side, Nishant. I enjoyed talking with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I will put all your LinkedIn and other social connections in the show notes, so that the audience might want to reach out to you, follow you on LinkedIn. You should actually follow her on LinkedIn. The leadership thoughts that she shares are truly the true anecdotes of life that can give you so much about leadership, AI, consistency, marathons, everything put together. Now, with that, thank you so much if you've been with us till the very end. I will see you in the next episode. Continue to train, endure, conquer in your life.